Hello, it's Talking Reds. It's John Gibbons and here with Craig Hannan on a fabulous Friday. It's absolutely gorgeous outside in Liverpool, and obviously no serious football this weekend. There's a small matter of the FA Cup, but you know, it's all about next week, isn't it, in terms of world football? Eyes starting to turn to Kyiv. Excitement, I was going to say building, but I mean,
I'm bursting. I say bursting, not building. I just can't wait for it. I'm trying to think of how long. I'm trying to work out how long my brain's gone without like the words Kyiv entering it or European Cup final. I reckon probably no more than 3 minutes. It's like just every 3 minutes thinking about this European Cup final and about us going there and about this mad bus, and like we were putting in some plans around the bus that we're taking next week. I know Gareth's talked about it before. This time next week we'll be on our way to Berlin, won't we? But I've been looking at the distances. Every time I look, they keep getting longer, John. So
don't you worry about that. You'll be with your mate Gibbo. It'll seem like half an hour on the bus to work. You know what I mean? me and Sean just chatting playlist there. You know, it's like it's gonna be epic, an epic journey.
Yeah, I love how bus playlist is actually one of the action points for Sean this week.
Yeah,
he's very worried about it.
Well, we had our meeting about the final yesterday, just planning kind of what we want to do, and loads of exciting content ideas in terms of between now and then. Obviously on the bus there's going to be a lot of content, largely because there's going to be not much else to do. So yeah, loads of look backs to previous finals, but also looking back on the journey to get there. And I think it's a good time to reflect on that, Craig, because it has been a fantastic journey to get to the final in terms of what the team's been able to do, what they've achieved, the teams that they've beat, and the manner that they've got to the final as well.
Yeah, definitely. Like this football team have provided, you know, especially younger fans, some of the best nights that we've enjoyed at Anfield as Liverpool fans, and some of the best nights we've enjoyed in football. You know, like I stood with Sean most of the run, and like during both City games, we've asked each other like, how does it get better than this? And then you score 5 against Roma in the home leg, and Sean's head was falling off. He just couldn't believe that he was watching his team score 5 in a European Cup semi-final. Obviously, we go to Roma, we do the business and get through, and you know, hopefully Kyiv's just another one. Hopefully these aren't all, you know, confined to history, and that, you know, these are these can be put up there with all of the big nights that this club have enjoyed up until now. But yeah, what a run it's been, and probably what a run it's been for some of the players as well. Like, I think that's the most exciting thing, aside from what fans have experienced, is that you look at someone like Trent, who's 19, who's growing up as a Liverpool fan, watched the team parade the trophy in 2005 past his house. You got Andy Robertson, who 3 years ago was playing, you know, second division Scottish football, and for none of these players have played in a European Cup final before, so it's something new for them. So it's exciting times as a Liverpool fan. Yeah,
it is exciting. On the terms of the final itself, obviously plans are getting put together for what might happen if we win. I'm not just talking about my European Cup suit, I'm talking about the parade now. Do
you want to explain the Talking Reds viewers what this is?
I think back when it was less likely that Liverpool were going to win the European Cup than it is now, I promised that if we were to win it, I'd dress as the European Cup for a week. And like solidly, and then go about my daily business, around the supermarket, you know, 5-a-side footy.
I think you said spin class.
Spin class, yeah. Although I haven't been spinning for a while, so it'd be a funny way to make you return, wouldn't it?
I'm going to book you in for so many proper like out of office meetings,
partnership
external,
meetings, and stuff like that. Yeah. Well, I mean, it'll be a conversation starter. So if anyone feels, you know, out there, any seamstresses listening, who feel they could knock something up, you've basically got a week, because I then go to a wedding in Spain. My mate Nicky's getting married straight after Kyiv, so you've got a week. Well, we've got a week. We've all collectively got a week to come up with this suit. I don't know. We'll wear it for a week solid.
Would you wear it at the wedding?
No, I don't think wearing at the wedding's really suitable. You know what I mean? It's.
I love how it's only a wedding that's the one step too far for wearing a European Cup final.
I just think Becky, the bride, would batter me if I was like, you know, looking way better than her in the awesome European Cup suit. I just think she'd be like, she looks quite hard. Like you want to dig off her.
Yeah, you want all eyes on the bride, don't you?
Exactly.
Not like the drunk lad in the corner dressed as the European Cup.
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily be drunk. So I'm not going to do it for Nicky's wedding in Spain, but then when I come back, I'm expecting my suit to be ready as well. I land about 4 o'clock, and then we're going to see Khalees doing Bongos Bingo.
Which would be the first night of you wearing.
So if you bring the suit to Bongos Bingo, I'll get changed into it there, and then that could be like day one of the 7-day. But
please, the Reds. Like I know players like Trent posted about us being the British Podcast Awards. So like, there's the smallest of chances that you might see this. Maybe I know he follows us on Twitter. So like, Trent, if you're watching, just send a message around to the whole team. Like, you know that big the big banner that was on the cup, and it's like, win the European Cup for me. Well, just change it to win the European Cup for me, so that Gibbo has to dress as the European Cup for a week, please.
You say has to, like I'll be forced, like I'll be
No,
fine.
you're up for it, was you that said.
I know. So that's one thing that's going to happen if Liverpool win the European Cup. The other thing is the parade, and the parade has been announced. It's ruffled a few feathers, rightly or wrongly. It's going to be on the Sunday, early as well, so about midday. So it's going to be tough for people who are over in Kyiv, who were travelling with or without tickets to get back for it, which has annoyed a few people. Also the routes changed, so it's just basically city centre. So it's starting on the Strand, going along the Strand, and then up Leeds Street and finishing around the Olympia. So a shorter route, which is a bit of a change from past years as well. I've got a couple of thoughts on it, Craig, before you give me mine. Basically, I'm not too bad about missing it. I'm not too bad about when it is. I think it's always been the day after. I think players have either had to go on holiday or in this case join up with World Cup squads, places to be and things like that. So it's always tends to be the day after. People missed them in 05, people missed them, going back 77, they were still on trains coming back from Rome and stuff, and you don't have to see anything. If you're lucky enough to have a ticket to go to the final, you're getting the main event. So I don't think it's right to necessarily moaning. The route though, I think, is a bit rubbish. I used to like the fact that it'd go through Liverpool, it'd go through the north and the south of the city, allowing people to come out. I felt a greater connection for me, the team to the whole city, celebrating it together. This shorter route just through town, I don't know, just doesn't feel as right to me. And also, look, I want to finish in St George's Hall and seeing all the pictures that we've seen and stuff up by the Olympia. Look, the Grafton's an iconic venue in itself, but it's not quite the same, is it? What do you think?
I'm exactly the same on the route. I think it's a shame that it won't go past St George's Hall, because the first thing I think of when I think of the 2005 parade was all of the iconic images of just tens of thousands of people out in front of St George's Hall with the as the bus comes in when it's just near and dark, and you see people like hanging off the traffic lights and stuff like that, and all of the cameras flashing. I think that's the iconic image that you think of when you think of that. So I think that's a shame. In terms of people that are going to Kyiv and have a ticket for the game and are worried about missing the parade, I think how much are you going to care when you've been in the stadium to watch Jordan Henderson lift number 6? I just don't understand why you would be that bothered.
We'll be in Prague. We'll
Bus will be taking us back to Prague for a night, and there's no way I'll be sat in Prague having a nice pint of Pilsner with my mates after Liverpool have won the European Cup thinking, do you know what, I wish they'd wait until tomorrow so that I could go to the parade. I just don't, you can't have it every way, and I think it's, it's great that they're doing they're going to do a parade if we win again. I think it's a shame on the route, but I just think, I don't see why there's people getting annoyed about it. Just, enjoy this, and if we're lucky to win it in Kyiv, then win it in Kyiv, and you've watched your team lift the European Cup. Don't worry about the parade afterwards.
Yeah, sounds. Should we have a look at the papers?
Yeah.
I had so many ups and downs at Liverpool. I remember coming in one day and we were playing. So after every training session, the squad list went up on the board when you were out. So when you came in, you could walk straight to the board in the change room and the squad list would be up. Now he only ever named 18 players, so you knew you were either on the bench or playing. There was no extra men left over in case anyone's ill or injured or anything. I remember we played Tottenham at home, and I think it was a massive game at the time. I think it was when who was the guy from Tottenham who scored the screamer from about 30 yards, 40? No, the left back. He scored an absolute worldie. And then Sammy Hyypiä scored a volley in the same goal. Who? Eric Edman. That's him. So playing in that game, and came in, squad list went up and I weren't in it, and I was fuming because I played the game before and played well. And I remember going out that night because we were in training the next morning, but I went out for a few drinks with my mates. Came in the next morning and I'm getting my training gear on and I'm sat as you go out to training with all the players who aren't involved. I'm sat on a bench, put my boots on, and Rafa comes up as they're going for a walk, the first team who were involved. They used to always go for a walk around Melwood. Why have you got your boots on? I said, I'm going out to training. And he was like, no, you're not. I said, why? What do you mean? And he went, you're playing today. I went, no, I'm not. I said, go and check the squad list. So he went and checked the squad list and they got it wrong. So I was meant to be playing. So he says, no, get changed. Yeah, you're playing today. Oh, shit. So I went and seen him and I said, listen, I went out for a few drinks last night. I weren't involved. I thought, it was one of my mates' birthdays, you see. So I said, it's one of my mates' birthdays. I've had a few drinks. And he was like, what, one glass of wine or something? So I was like, no, a bit more than that, like. And he was like, right, I'll put you on the bench. So I ended up going on the bench and I came on for like the last 20 minutes or something like that or something. I came on in a part of the game thinking, how's she got that so wrong?
That was a clip from the Pro View, which is a show we do about monthly with Stephen Warnock, and he really opened up on this one, didn't he, Craig? Because obviously he's just retired from professional football, so maybe told 2 or 3 of the stories that he was a bit unsure about when he was playing that they came out, and I thought the whole hour was fascinating. I loved it.
It flew in listening to it. I know it's easy for us to say because we're a little bit biased when we're talking about shows, but like it was brilliant to hear him be so open and honest, and like some of the stories he told, that one that you've just seen where he's talking about Benitez mixing up the team sheets and him going out the night before, the one about Istanbul, about him thinking he was in the squad, even ones from whenever he played at Blackburn where he went out with the team in Dubai and stuff like that. It's just so many stories of little things that you hear about in the newspapers about how things happen in football, but you don't get the ins and outs, do you, of the fact of what happens whenever they're in a room with just him and the manager. So yeah, loads to get on that. It was really, really good.
And I didn't realise how close he was to coming back to Liverpool. You know, it was a loan deal with a view to a permanent, and if he'd have done well on that loan, then who knows? But it was messed up by his agent when he found out he sacked him.
Yeah, that's mad. That's absolutely mad because he.
So watch out, Steve Warnock will sack you. Like.
No, but it seemed fair enough because he's talking about how much he wanted to get back, and there was a chance under Dalglish, and it's screwed up by his agent basically being greedy. It's just, but yeah, and just another thing that you just never would have known.
Yeah, so it is fantastic. Do give that a listen. That's out on Tour Player. He's brilliant, Steve, and I'm hoping to get him back in the summer because the lad's kind of run out of time a bit and didn't have a chance to speak on his England career. Obviously, he got 2 caps for England, Steve Warnock, but did actually go to a World Cup as well. So I'll be interested to get his views, I think, on the on what it's like to go away with England for the World Cup and have all those different egos and different personalities and clubs kind of coming together and trying to work together. So yeah, that's what I'm going to pitch for when I go back in the office for that in the summer. But before then, today, all the shows out on Tour Play, we've got AFQ, which is our Friday show here. We just have a little bit of fun. The listeners send in their questions and we ask absolutely anything that you want. And it's this is one that's sponsored by Slingsby Gym, which are always a bit more lively because everyone's just a bit more drunk. So that's coming out. Obviously, there's our City Talk show as well, which we do on the radio first, and we put out for free as well. So that's out today. So loads and loads going on. And then over the weekend, then obviously next week there'll be more Kyiv chat and you can shake a stick at.
The AFQ on the bus to Kyiv is going to be absolutely wild. That's what I'm most excited about. You can stick all your European Cup specials up your arse. I'm in it for the AFQ.
So, just quickly on the papers then. Transfer stuff. There's a story in the Echo which says that Liverpool looks set to miss out on Jorginho. He's a midfielder, plays for Napoli, who've been linked with quite a bit this season, throughout towards the end of the season. There's some quotes from his agent basically insinuating that it's likely he's going to go to Man City. The 2 clubs haven't agreed yet, but it looks fairly close on that. But never mind, he's just a footballer and he might be rubbish. The Echo have also... the columnists at the Echo said who they'd like to buy, who they'd be their number 1 target, so they've kind of done that there. Christian Walsh, our mate's gone for Wilfred Zaha from Crystal Palace. That's an interesting one in terms of backup, but these are all the sort of targets and these are all the stories to be trove through on our Gutter show, which is our show that Rob Gutman hosts all about transfers because he absolutely adores them. Transfers first, actual football second for Rob. There'll be one of those next week, and then once the season's finished and we've lifted our 6th European Cup, there'll be 3 a week throughout the summer. So we're trawling all the newspapers, dodgy websites, ITKs on Twitter, so you don't have to, pulling it all together and rating them out of likelihood out of Craig's out of 5. So do get on that. The other little thing in the Echo wants to highlight, which was what Jan Mulby's written in his column, because Jan has actually been out to Marbella to see the squad. He went out to interview Jurgen Klopp. Can't remember who it was for. I don't think he said, but he's been out to interview Jurgen Klopp anyway, Jan, and he said, Craig, that he couldn't believe how relaxed the camp was, and I think this camp's been quite a sensible thing to do, just to get everyone away from Liverpool. We know what Liverpool's like at the best of times. You know, you can't move if people wanted to talk to you about football, you know, even if you just do the Anfield rap, never mind if you're a player or a manager. So I think getting away has been a good thing for them, good idea, away from the bubble, away from some of the pressures, and from what Jan says, they're all really relaxed, they're enjoying it, they're enjoying each other's company, and yeah, decent prep for the final.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a great idea. You know, I can't imagine what it's like to be a footballer who's about to play in a European Cup final and needs to go to the shop for something or get petrol, and you're just getting harassed by people who are just so happy to see you and so happy about how this footballer team are doing and how this football team are making you feel. And they'll want to tell them, but you know they'll be getting that a million times. So taking them away out of that bubble seems sensible. And yeah, like Marbella's a lovely place. I'd imagine. I've never been, but nice sunny weather. I've seen all the players putting on their Instagram stories and Instagrams. All of
a lot of cycling.
A lot of cycling. Yep. Some mad gear that they were wearing. Did you see Alberto Moreno's get up? Oh, terrible. Really bad. Just go on the Instagram. But yeah.
The Instagram. Go out and the Instagram.
But they seem to have a nice time, and it seems sensible.
It does, yeah. The last little thing I want to do from the papers is from the Times. It's not a Liverpool story, but it's Liverpool related, and it's about Rafa Benitez, who, you know, is still one of our favourite sons and still someone you look out for, and has just generally made a lot of wild managerial decisions since he left Liverpool. This latest one is to do with West Ham. He is favoured for the West Ham job. Matt Dickinson has written an article here. Complimentary of Rafa, but why Benitez and West Ham would be a match made in hell, basically putting a guy who famously will fall out with any owners, with owners who have been nicknamed the Dildo Brothers by other owners, and it just feels like Rafa, lad, go somewhere just slightly not mad for a bit.
Yeah, if he goes to West Ham, he's on a hiding to nothing. Like, you know, it's just everything about the club. There's just nothing that would attract me to that club at all. From the owners, the stadium, the way the fans have been recently. They're obviously not happy. Like how they think Mark Noble's an absolute god will always baffle me. Rafa's not had it easy at Newcastle, but what he does have is he has the absolute backing of the fans, and he seems to have a similar relationship with the fans as what he did in his first couple of years here with us. So I think he's best staying there and seeing what, you know, maybe that's the kind of job that when West Ham come in for Rafa, that Newcastle look and say, right, we'll give you more money. Or I don't know their situation at the minute, but he's done such a good job at Newcastle to keep them up. I think he finished top half, did he, or close to it?
10th, I think, yeah.
10th. So like what an achievement that is, and what a manager he is. And yeah, I'd rather he stayed at Newcastle and goes for something like that.
Watch the space on that one. I think there'll be a bit of a managerial merry-go-round as always this summer, but yeah, plenty going on. But plenty going on here. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Talking Reds, and I hope you can contain yourself a little bit better than us ahead of a final. We've got 8 days to wait. How are we going to do it? Just get on the Anfield,